Good morning, Sharma ji. Good morning, everybody.
Good
Shyam
morning.
ji, nice
Good
to
morning.
meet you again.
How are you, sir?
So we will start little bit after 5 minutes. Fine. Meanwhile, you can.
Salilji, any plans of having something, where we get all these sustainable people on a single platform? You should play a very important role.
Know everybody want to know what is the grass, how it is comes. So I will briefly tell you about the grass and the product. And this is the skin of the grass. This is a plant which is about 4 feet high. Yeah, Aminji, good morning. Hello.
Sir, you are audible. You can.
I am not audible.
You are audible.
Okay, okay. Living harsh conditions there is challenging, and you see the frequent landslides and disruptions in the yatra seasons, and the regions are not new. Well known that barren lands in the area is increasing in HimGra. About 55% land is the barren land in Uttarakhand. And barren lands, when having the rain seasons, it's prone to slides. So the grass which grows in barren lands, the one beautiful thing, barren lands, and we not cut the plant from the root. So roots are remain in the field. So it binds the soil, and where the plantation or is high, the landslides will be lesser. Second, it grows up on rainfield, no fertilizer, no chemicals, and no agriculture. So the all natural fibers you are using, because the polyester established itself a dirty fiber for the pollution and the skin. The agricultural land being used for the natural fibers are increasing. Can you imagine? This is the 1.5 times of the largest state of India, Uttar Pradesh. And the way it is growing, the day is not far when we may struggle for food or the clothing. So the challenges are there, and we have to see today. So along with fighting with the pollutions, the water, the energy required to grow the natural fibers in terms of the field preparation, in terms of the manufacturing of pesticides and fertilizers, and that is remain on the fibers. Traces of the chemicals are remain on the fiber. It is well established, and again in the soils. So the plant, the grass, is not a grass. It's binding the soil, reducing the landslides, saving the water, and the footprints of the natural fibers on the environment. So, what we have done, and moreover, it is supporting the women in the rural hill area in Uttarakhand. Those women are there, and aging parents are there, and kids are there. If you visit any village in Uttarakhand, you see only these people are there. The men have migrated in search of the job, because only tourism days of 3 to 4 months are their livelihood options to earn for a year. And the agricultural land, which is rain-fed, small pockets where irrigation is difficult because of the hill area. And yeah, so good morning everyone.
Good morning.
So I think it's time till bit we have given you some briefs about the HimGra. And shall we start or shall we wait for a little?
So someone like to join?
Yeah, I think our panelists have joined and some people are also there.
So up to you. If you want, we can wait for a minute or we can kick off as you allow.
Yeah, so I think we can 11:06 is there.
So this is Salil Chavla. Good morning to everyone.
Are joining Salilji, so
Okay,
we can wait little
Okay.
more. By the time you can have some more HimGra.
Better learning and better perspective before we get into that shoes, and put that hat of HimGra.
So, now I am showing you some good.
So hope everybody has worn that sustainability hat. Let's see, Sharma ji.
Yeah.
Underneath that hat is our thinking brain. Let's see how well we put it to the use to make best out of 1 hour.
It's all with your support, sir. Many people have
Thank you.
supported the journey of HimGra since its inception. So now you see what has come out from the HimGra. So let's see how this grass is being taken out. Fiber is taken out. Where it is difficult to move.
ये पूरा निकलेगा, जैसा थोड़ा भीगेगा नहीं इसका पूरा निकलेगा नीचे तक बहुत लंबा। बस उसके बाद वो गुच्छे बनाएंगे उसके बाद।
Should I
And
start, Sharmaji?
yeah, so I welcome you all who has taken time to join this HimGra initiative. HimGra is the brand name of the fiber which has been developed with the grass. So we will deep dive into this in next 1 hour, and I request Shri Salil Chawla, Mr. Salil Chawla, who is voice of the activist of fashion since long back, and in the publication driving the sustainability and fashion with his publications right from the pen and paper mode, and successfully converted during the time with the digital media. So he is the symbol how the changes with the time remains relevant with the fashion or the life or the things we are doing. So I request Sunil Chawla ji to take the moderate to this session because he is the voice of the fashion activist to moderate this session and introduce panelist of the day. Welcome, Sunil Chawla.
Thank you. Namaskar to everybody. Very good morning. And thanks for the kind words. I'll quickly first introduce myself before I ask and request everybody. I am very happy to report that we have a panel which is very distinguished, very experienced. They come from diverse background, and all are thickly, richly experienced. I'm sure in next 60 minutes we'll have a very, very palpable, and enriching session. And before we'll end the session, I'm sure everybody will have a bouquet full of information and knowledge what sustainability piece has to offer in the textile industry. So this is Salil Chawla. I represent DFQ Publications. I'm one of the co-founders. I'm one of the directors of this company. Since 1989, we are in this space. For last, God has been kind 36 glorious years. And it's a publication house which caters to textile and apparel as a B2B publication. And we also have got both the sides, offline and online. Offline is represented by print medium, which is Inside Fashion, which is more like bi-monthly, 7 times in a year. And then we have we ventured successfully, on the call of COVID into this. We deep dived and digged into to explore the technology side, which is digital online, and thankfully very successfully we have been able to, modulate it. We have been able to now work more on the omnification, what the industry says, both off and online, successfully. And in my portfolio, we have got web portals. One is global portal by the name of fascinatingworld.com. DFQ Publications is our banner, which again has a very strong publication arm, and we have close to 1 million page hits, which is very, very respectable. And globally, DFQ Publications, God has been kind, we have made a very strong name in the textile universe under the sun of textile. We also now proudly are into a blog, which is, I would proudly say that it is for the professionals, by the professionals and for the professionals, And sustainability, which is the call of nature, I'm sure that it will resonate with everybody, something called push and pull. Thankfully, it is said that till the time pull is not there, the supply chain doesn't really fall into place. Now, both from the push side, regulatory side, we can see EU is at the forefront, and most of the companies as well as nationalities, they have started responding to sustainability, and lot many regulations are around it. And now from the, what I call it, pull, consumer also has started asking for it, though we are still in the early days. But I am happy to see that at least in the upper, echelon of the strata of the consumer, they have started asking for it. As the fashion and most of the trends, they trickle down, top down. So we can see that sustainability is becoming a real issue, and slowly and steadily it has been seen that there is a premium around the products, and we are the industry is trying to get outside the greenwashing, where they are being able to substantiate the claims made around sustainability. So with that background, I'll request.
This fiber, that is what is my area of interest. Here already we are developing some fabrics blends along with HimGra so that it is useful, and I want to showcase to the people down south about this fabric qualities. Thank you, and I want each one of you to contribute and suggest how we can take this forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Next in the line is Amit ji, who has a very rich global experience, and he's representing a global industry in the good place to throw light on this. Amit ji.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. So my name is Amit Kaul. So I represent a company called Texcoms Worldwide. So we are a company based out of Southeast Asia. Our headquarters are in Singapore and Indonesia. And plus we are also present in almost 10 countries with our own offices. So our business focus is primarily on giving end-to-end solutions to the textile industry. So we are dealing in pre-owned used textile machinery as one business, and then we are also very strong in giving operational excellence and consulting to the textile industry globally on a global platform. So we are very well connected in a lot of countries as such with a lot of clients. So we give a very global perspective to the business of textiles as such. On a personal front, I'm a textile engineer by background, and more than 20 years of experience in this trade. So I have worked in across the textile supply chain, right from the fiber to the garment stage, like some years spent in fiber business, yarn business, and then in fabrics, and to some extent in garment as well as in retail as well. So I can bring in some perspective of the textile value chain, so sustainability angle to the textile value chain. And as a professional, I'm also passionate, and sustainability is something which is very close to my heart, and I want to see that if I can contribute to the industry in some ways for a sustainable initiative. So I also keep reading and doing some research in regards to the developments happening, especially at the fiber stage of sustainability. So I feel that this session would definitely bring some perspective to the professionals who are already as an audience as well as in the panel. So I think this session will be an enriching session for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Amit ji. Next in the row is Surbhi ji. She comes from a very respectable council, and I think she also is. Yesterday in the interaction, we realized that she is also more like a sustainability warrior, So my request that please introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. I'm Surbhi Singhal from International Council for Circular Economy. Thanks, Mr. Sharma, for inviting me to this webinar. And it will be a great opportunity for all of us to brainstorm together and learn and grow with, together. So this, I have been with ICCE from past 2.5 years. ICCE was founded in 2020. We are in existence since 4 years now. And within this short span of time, we have been able to achieve, I can say, great milestones. We have our MD, Ms. Shalini Goel Bhalla, she is the author of a book on circular economy, which was first of its kind in India. Then we worked on the MOOC courses at AICTE portal, which is on SWAM portal. We have our own courses on, zero waste, net zero, and sustainability and circular economy. Then we are collaborating with government agencies, embassies, industries, academia on different fronts to promote circular economy. So when we talk about circular economy, it's not just recycling or, managing the waste. It's all about thinking about a sustainable future right from the beginning, right from the start, when we are in the process of conceptualizing a product or a process. Right from that start, you have to understand that what implications, what the repercussions this product can create when it moves through the supply chain. So right from the designing, the circular economy perspective, the principles start. When you are designing a product, it has to be designed for reuse, recyclability, repairability, so that it can be kept as long as the it can serve its value to the maximum period of time. So that's how ICCE has been working on knowledge sharing. We do a lot of capacity building programs. We do online and offline programs, and we have been into industrial trainings also, where especially in textile sector, we have done industrial trainings with ABFRL, Aditya Birla Fashion Retail House, and we are in talks with many other textile industries to conduct the industrial trainings on circular economy, so that their own setup, how they can create circular loops where there is no waste generated along the supply chain, along the complete value chain. And apart from capacity building, we are into policy advocacy also. Now, in circular economy, if we talk about, there are rules and regulations which have come up in ISO standards also. India has come up with 3 ISO standards which are pertaining to circular economy, and ICC has played a vital role while they were framed. And then we are working with Niti Aayog also in when the Committee for Circular Economy is crafted, and the 11 subcommittees are formed. We played an important role there also. So that ways we are trying to bridge the gap between the policymakers, the doers, actually the industry which is accepting, which are imbibing all the rules and regulation and trying to comply to all these policies. How to bridge this gap is by bringing all the people together. So we host our annual event, which is India Circular Economy Forum, which is one of its kind, which is happening in New Delhi almost every year in July. This year we are doing it on 10th and 11th July, and I would like to invite all of you, those who are present here on this event. So here during this 2-day event, we try to bring all people together and discuss and brainstorm on different topics of circular economy, and we are sector agnostic. There is no particular sector that we cater to, but yes, we do cater to all the sectors, be it textiles, be it infrastructure, be it waste management. So we keep, and then the final outcome of this event is presented as a key recommendations report to the ministries. So that ways we try to, provide some advocacy support to the government as well. So this is about ICCE. And if I talk about myself, I am a postgraduate MBA in biotechnology management. And I've been into the education industry. And for me, getting into this field of circular economy and sustainability, I've been learning the ropes from 2.5 years now with ICCE, and I'm hoping to grow more and more with it. Thank you.
Thank you. Next in the line is Mohapatra ji. Please take the opportunity to introduce yourself. Mohapatra ji, if you can hear me, so please introduce yourself.
Yeah, this is Pradeep Mahapatra. Is there any other Mahapatra or myself?
No, you are the only one, I guess.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And so nice of you. This is Pradeep Mahapatra. I work with organization called Udyam. It's the best started in Bhubaneswar. And we work with these communities, corporates, education, universities regarding community resilience. And it's circular economy is also part of that is climate resilience and its adaptation. So this is the one of the interconnected program and the cross-sector program we have added to sustainability for this minimize the plastic pollution. We work with also UNICEF to minimize the plastic pollution and I would like to bring your notice, and UNICEF and Udyam wants to set up plastic products, even if fabrication, any kind of products nearby Bhubaneswar or any district, and we can mobilize also land. If anything is that would be possible, I think that please let me know. We can work together.
Thank you for offering your services in the space of
And
plastic,
I have also done one of these courses on this past 2 years, waste management, plastic waste management and tourism with its AIT Bangkok. So that it's also one of my core areas, how to minimize the plastic pollution, air pollution, soil pollution, and it's in even water pollution. And it is the crux of the day to day. Thank you so much. Please help us. Please help us. If anything comes, please help us to set up a bigger plant.
Thank you. Next is Vinod Pandeji. Please introduce yourself. Mr. Pandey. So I'm sorry, we are not been able to track him. Next in my screen is Saurabh Singhvi. Saurabh, please take the opportunity to introduce yourself.
Right. Hello all. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, great. So thank you for inviting me here. It's a pleasure. Right. So my name is Saurabh Singhvi. I work with Alcisar Impact. I'll just give you a brief about what we do. So Alcisar Impact is into impact investment space for last 17 years. That started in 2007 or 8 particularly. So again, we have worked with around more than 600 or 650 social entrepreneurs across India, as well as other southeastern countries as well. So again, our learning in our journey is that there are a lot of pain points which an early social entrepreneur goes through it. Right? And that is where we come and provide certain solutions to them. So again, somebody who's starting early, right? They know that it's very difficult. Being a startup, it's difficult. Being a social entrepreneur is more difficult, right? So you don't have that kind of ecosystem which is available around you, right? Who can help you in various aspects. So it's not again specific to one particular aspect, but there are so many things which are there. So we come as a strategic partner to these enterprises, right? We then take them to a level where they are themselves sustainable, and then again go to the next level. So that is something which we have doing it for the last 17 years. We have a very specific program for Himalayan region where we are working right now with 28 entities. With different sectors where they are working. Climate is one of the prominent sector. Agriculture is the next important sector for them where they are working, and we are strategically supporting them. So this is what it is. Personally, I am working with CISR for last 7 years. I have worked with HSBC earlier. I was with ICICI Prudential as well. So again, again, at the core of it, I'm a finance guy. But again, right now working with so many amazing entrepreneurs, I think again, it's a great learning for me, and yes, looking forward to interact with you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Before I move further out of academic curiosity, Saurabhji, I need to ask two things. One, I could not resonate textile, that industry in your initial remarks, and second is when it comes to the social entrepreneur, because I have to put it in the context. Textile has a dubious distinction of being second largest polluter on the earth, on this planet. So do you think there is a scope to deep dive or address to the textile side of it?
No, absolutely, Saliji. The textile is, again, you mentioned it is, and I'll tell you what happens with the waste industry in particular is that it's not visible to anyone, right? We know that there is a waste somewhere out there, but since it is not visible to us, people do not take it very seriously. But this is one of the biggest issue in front of us, right? And I think many of us have seen the recent Netflix Netflix series as well on it as to how big is the problem of waste, right? So this is something which we need to address immediately, right? And as soon as we start, we are going to see benefit out of it. Otherwise, we are gone again. Whatever AI, etc., whatever we are talking about, it's a different thing. But if you are not going to solve the problem of waste, it is going to be a biggest issue in front of us. And Saliji, what was your first question? How textile, right? No. Again, I will see. Right. So again, in impact sector, climate is one of the prominent issues, right, which we are facing now. In climate, again, if you are not using natural fibers, you are keep using the synthetic fibers. It is destroying the climate as well. It is destroying the environment as well. So that is something which is again in impact sector, I think one of the prominent areas and important areas where we need to set our focus and resolve the issues. So yeah, I think I'm able to answer your question.
Yeah, sure. Enough. Thank you.
Yeah.
Harini Design. Next, I can't read the name. So there is a lady. Please introduce yourself.
Yes, sir. Good morning. Thanks for giving me this opportunity. I am a sole entrepreneur. Started with a small unit. I used to put up exhibitions. My product is kalamkari with natural dyes and ikkat. And I deal in handlooms, Andhra-based handlooms. I started with small exhibitions and all, and I got very good response. So I decided to grow ahead. And meanwhile, I met Sir for Sharma sir for this hemp, and we had a talk. It really impressed me. So somewhere I wanted to introduce in my products. I want to work for this handloom and for artisans. I am facing the problems mostly in marketing, reaching the target audience and the finances. So I hope that this would be a great help for me to, improve my skills as well as improve my how the promotions can take place and go ahead with this. Thank you so much, everyone, for giving this opportunity.
If I heard you right, I think you made a mention about hemp. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
About hemp fabric. Yeah, because it is something close to my heart. In year 2014, I am reminded of when the world celebrated a century of, centenary of natural fiber. It was in China, none other than China, because in textile, China has explored practically everything which is possible, given the R&D bandwidth and the depth and the width, in most of the fibers, fabrics, and this, yarns, whatever. So there I had the opportunity of representing India. I made a pitch on hemp, though that time around 11 years ago, India hardly had any stake in hemp. So I had to only take the information out of secondary source. But China, Europe, and I think I understand US was perhaps the first one, to exploit this. More on the military, this as a military workwear or army men around, they had built this. So just it struck me, it resonated me. So I have just intercepted in between. Next, and thank you so much. Next is Nandan Bishti. If I can request him to just introduce himself. Mr. Nandan Bishti. Okay, so I'll be forced to move to next gentleman, Pariyaswamy S. Pariyaswamy ji, please introduce yourself.
Yeah, good morning. I am Pariyaswamy, advisor to Tirupur Exporters Association. And if you see, Tirupur Export Association is present turnover is something around 40,000 crores in exports and 20,000 crores in the domestic market, keeping the target of 1 lakh crores. Now we have a sustainability committee, so I am also advisor for that. We wanted to bring more on these non-conventional fiber into this cluster. So. And also, I just invited UNIDO when we had a meeting last time. So the government of India now has allotted some 83 crores, and for 8 clusters. And particularly here in Tirupur, I supported for these two fiber, non-conventional fiber like a banana and also in this arecanut fiber. And another different fiber also, the more focus is on that. And so when we have, I was also an advisor to AEC Nifty Incubation Center. Previously, I was a CEO. We have developed a banana fiber. The banana fiber normally they have 30% banana and 70% cotton, but we have exclusively made 60% banana, 40% cotton. So it attracted the Nike. When Nike was conducted as a marketing strategy, what we have done, we have a small setup in extracting a dye stubs from the herbal and a plant-based thing, and we have made a dyed yarn from that, and also we have a special machine in our incubation center that is a additive manufacturing flat knitting machine where we have made a shoe upper. So we have made the description of the product in such a way that 60% banana, 40% cotton, naturally dyed, biodegradable shoe upper. The shoe upper we have made because of this Nike is focusing on that product. So immediately the Nike team came to Coimbatore, and they have reviewed the production facility and other things. They have placed in a very huge trial order for that also. Particularly now they are sourcing a yarn. And again, we are supporting these bamboo fiber. And so now you have rightly pointed out, there is a lot of regulations are coming. For an example, ESPR, Eco Design Sustainable Product Regulations. So we need to have the DPP for each and every product goes to Europe, and it has to accompany with the digital product passport. So when you wanted to have a digital product passport, the DPP and this life cycle assessment, LCA, is an integral part of the ESPR. And for LCA, life cycle assessment, we need to bring all this non-conventional fiber as a step. We have already taken one of the fiber, particularly bamboo, where so huge quantity is being exported, and we have invited HGS. They came for doing this LCA and also DPP so that they can connect with their buyers. And this way we have been doing. And I don't know whether I can take another 2 minutes.
It's okay if you want. Okay.
Yeah, and also I was the, I am the member in academic council in various institutions and the syllabus committee also, where we stress to bring the sustainability syllabus to all the educational institutions, because they are the future generations. They will understand about the sustainability, circularity of the particularly and textiles also. So in this, and again we have exhibited the product of this the Himalayan the natural fiber, and it attract the people. And we will be making using our machinery, particularly that we have a special machine, jacquard digital machine, and denim knitting machine, and a flat knitting machine, and natural dye in our incubation center. We will be able to contribute more on the sustainability. And again, we have a reverse resources we connected with that. And we also invited a Blue Sign from Switzerland, and they have been already they had a tie-up with the tea. For a mutual MOU they have signed, and basically they are supporting this natural fiber, and also this hazardous free chemicals used in the natural fiber. And we feel because of the another policy of Bio E3 policy, which recently the textile Ministry have brought into that, the focusing on economical and environmental and employment. So here afterwards, any of these things, the government wanted to support, particularly for this infrastructure facilities and other things, maybe revolving on Bio E3 policy, which already we have been creating an awareness amongst these people. And I would love to hear more from the experts here in this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you so much for very insightful introduction. I have to say first I want to compliment Sharma ji for bringing PE on the board because no in India I think no sustainability piece will be complete if TE is not mentioned about. They have proudly done I think immense work in the given area as Paris Swamiji also said. In fact, I personally know Raja Shanmugam ji also
Yes.
since many years because God is great. I am in this space since close to 36 years now. And in fact, around a month ago, your president was in Delhi in one of the conferences, and I heard him saying that because of this sustainability initiative, Tirupur weather has changed, there has been incremental range, and if I'm not mistaken, he said 1.5 to 2 degree. There is mercury has come down, it has plummeted, on the back of the initiative. So it is very hyper local. It only is affecting that area, But I am happy to have you on the board, because T has done immensely. They have done a great job, and other clusters have to emulate it. Unfortunately, in India, we do not have that kind of culture, that linearity, or so to say, that lateral kind of transmission. But this is the need of the hour. Thank you so much. So next in the row is Vishakha Karnadji. Can I request you to introduce yourself?
Good morning, everybody. So, I am Professor Dr. Vishakha Karnad. I am the former in charge principal of the College of Home Science, Nirmala Niketan. We have the Department of Textile and Fashion Technology, which is under the University of Mumbai. So we have BSc, MSc, and PhD programs being run at our college. We are proactively working on many research projects to do with fibers, to do with designing of garments, right from fiber to the actual manufacturing of garments is what is being covered. So over the years, the institute is known for its recognition that it gains and the prizes that are won by our students for research. So we are working on many research projects that are to do with sustainable fiber manufacturing and garment manufacturing. So looking forward to learning more as we network more. We also have the Institution's Innovation Council at the college, which is the IIC, which comes under the MHRDC. So gaining from all the expertise that are there on this platform. With Descat UK, I have been on the board of directors earlier, and a lot of support has been granted by Sharma sir, wherein we have utilized their fabrics for research, for printing of fabrics, as well as for developing window treatments, that is in the form of curtains and upholstery. Also, the waste of NNF has been blended together, and we are exploring possibilities of using it for agro textiles in the farms of Nasik. So, the more we network, the more we gain with our collaborations, the best it is for us. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm happy to have you on the board because I heard and I read somewhere, that the holistic approach for development and progression is if the bridge between the academia and the industry is reduced. So I'm happy that you are from the academia side. Hope this will go a long way, in connecting the two pieces together and resonate with the textile industry in terms of the growth and progression. Thank you once again. Next in the line is Yugal Maheshwari ji. Can I request Mr. Maheshwari?
Yes, sir. Good morning, everyone. I am Yugal Maheshwari. Starting with my brief intro, I am an undergrad student from the TIT Bhiwani, and then I had done a job into the yarn industry, basically the industry of the textile. And currently, I am a postgrad from NIFT Delhi, and right now, on the behalf of Trident India Limited, I had joined this meet because I am into my postgrad thesis work, and basically the target areas for my thesis over the sustainability and the solutions into the bed linen industry. So gather the insights in terms of sustainability and how can I do along with this sustainability into the bed linen? I'm into this meet today. Thanks everyone. That's all from my side.
Thank you. I'm happy that we have a duo from TIT, Earlier, I introduced Amit ji. So two to tango, because this is one
Yes.
institute which is one of the oldest and most prestigious. I'm sure they'll bolster the strength of this, our session. Next, if I missed anybody, Sharma ji, I'll request you because this is all I can see on my screen. So pardon me if I missed anybody. So is the
one of our mentors, Sunil Arora ji, is here. So I request him to also introduce to the audience.
Arora ji, take the opportunity.
So I think he has some issue. So thank you everyone being here with us.
I request Amit ji to introduce himself. He has been.
Okay. Thanks for the same. Amit ji, if we have missed you, really excuse us for that and take the opportunity to just Sunil ji introduce yourself. I think he has left the meeting. This is what it comes on my screen. Maybe if he is not available, sorry.
I'm able to see him on screen.
Achha, okay.
So you're talking about
Again,
me,
call him out.
is it?
Arora ji, if you are there.
Yeah. So I was actually first to introduce. Actually, I don't know. Maybe we have missed out. So
There was some mismatch. Pardon us for that.
Yeah, no problem. So actually, my name is Amit Kaul, and I work for a company called Texcoms Worldwide. So we are a global company. We provide end-to-end solutions to the textile industry. We are based out of Southeast Asia. Our headquarters are in Indonesia, and we have multiple offices globally in 10 more countries. So we have two business verticals. Primarily, first business vertical is we are into textile machinery, pre-owned textile machinery, buying and selling, trading business. And the second one is we also provide consultancy to the textile industry, mostly into operational excellence, plus other verticals as well. And we are globally, doing a lot of consultancy projects in different countries. So we bring in a very global perspective of what is happening in textile industry in today's days and scenarios. And my personal background is that I have more than 20 years of experience in textile industry. As such, worked in the complete textile value chain, right from fiber, yarns, fabrics, and in garment manufacturing as well. Plus, along with that, I have an inclination and passion for sustainability. So I look for opportunities to contribute if wherever I can. And Sharma ji has been kind of a mentor also and a friend as well from last couple of years. So I've been watching him, seeing that the way he has been approaching this new innovative fiber. So I'm just seeing the possibility that if I can contribute, and especially since we are a marketing based organization and orientation is completely towards global outlook. So maybe we can help this fiber to go to overseas markets as well. And we look at that possibility as well. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Sam Akkad Bakkad, I don't know, has joined. If anyone by this name Akkad Bakkad, if I have pronounced it right, my apology if I have pronounced it wrong. So if not, I think this completes our customary of, introducing a very, very distinguished, illustrious, richly experienced, a very, very diverse, and more than anything else, I'm happy to see pan-India presence, Almost, I think, all zones have been well represented. So I understand now next in the row is a couple of presentations are to be made. Then we'll venture into the Q&A. So Sharma ji, ask whatever that presentations are to be made. You may.
Anshu Gupta is there. So Anshu, can you please introduce yourself also?
Hello everyone, good morning. My name is Anshu Gupta. I'm from Delhi and I'm a women undergarment designer. Basically, I have my own brand and it is running online as of now. And what I can see is in the whole world, this segment has no sustainability as in
this product can be made from the man-made fiber only. So I'm looking forward something which can be sustainable, which can be cotton, like natural based fiber or fabric, so that I can create my product from that. So I'm just looking for such fabrics in Indian market, but I'm not getting right now because in panty, if we are making any panty, we need a stretch in it. So we have to blend with the man-made fiber like nylon or maybe elastic or something like that. And the dyes are also polyester based. So I'm not getting anything natural in this product. So I'm just looking for, I'm researching more and more for natural dyes, natural fiber, natural fabric for my product because it is undergarment. And in whole world it is too fancy, but no one is doing something which is sustainable in this category. So I'm trying my best to create something which is actually, related to the ground level, which is actually save the environment. Yeah.
So I can only say thanks, Ms. Anshu. I can only say to
Yeah.
give you some sense of direction. There is an exhibition by the name of Intimatia,
Yeah.
and that is going to happen third week of February again in Delhi only. Yashubhumi,
Yeah.
and they claim that it's a complete on this innerwear lingerie section,
Yes.
and they also represent, I think, the supply side. So I'm not really sure how much that sustainable fiber or that can answer address your thing, but definitely that will be an opportunity to explore, and maybe you can discover
Yeah.
something out of
Yes,
that
sir.
area.
Sir, yeah, I'm I also joined, attend all the exhibitions previously, but as of now, there's nothing like that. But yes, maybe in industry, someone or somewhere trying their best to create something like that. But yes, research is going on.
Yeah, and so
Good
the
luck.
research is going on, and hopefully we can make this HimGra stretchable fabric for you, because one of the bio stretch yarn is being made, like the lycra, which is synthetic fibers. So bio stretch yarn is made, and we can work on that to give you the fabrics for your base garments. Hopefully we can collaborate. And
Yeah.
our natural dyer
Thank
expert is also here, Stariavar Olisa. Can you introduce you to the audience, please?
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Sharma. Thanks for giving me this opportunity to speak here. We are into the manufacturing of natural dyes since '96, and we have been focusing largely on the industrialization of the natural dyes. And I think, as Anshu is saying, she is looking for that, so we can definitely connect to her. And we have the ability to create the process of dyeing for different fibers. We can even dye polyesters in for some of shades. So cotton, polyester, or any fiber can be dyed that way. And apart from that, what can be very interesting for you will be odor control or antimicrobial finish without metal, 100% natural. That also we have, and that reduces the load of bacteria by about 99% as tested. That can be very interesting product for you, what I understand, and we have these things, so definitely we can connect anytime you want.
Sure, sir. Yeah. Okay.
So one of my mentees, or I can say Pritishta Rana, is also there. So can you introduce your Rana? So there may be some connectivity. So welcome everyone again, and having the from fiber to yarn to natural dyes to garments, so all 5F and the voice of the F also here, and so it's circularity. So all aspects of the complex value chain of textile industry is here in the small gatherings where we address the issues. So thank you everyone. So I will start with a small, presentation of this wonderful award winner HimGra fiber, and after that we have presentations from the panelists with Mr. Amit Kaul, Mr. Surabhi, and Sir Saurabh Sangvi. So it's all the F's and the F's for finance also: fiber, fashion, and finance, and the voice. So all these things, because if a person doing the things, if a startup working on it has not finance, then he is to not sustainable, then how can he make the world sustainable? How can he achieve his dream to making the things right? So all these things will be discussed in next 1 hour. So before that, I request everyone to unmute your video so we can have some picture for that. So then we start. So it will be nice. Yeah. So thank you everyone. Welcome again, and let me share with you some small presentation, a brief. Then we have our panelist presentation. Then we have a question answer session for all of you. Whatever questions in between you are having, you put on the chat box, and Mr. Salil Chawla is here who can work on it. Okay, fine. So I think this is visible now.
Yes, it's visible, but if you make it full screen, will be better.
Okay. So I think now it is visible for all. So welcome again to redefining the sustainable luxury fashion and the impact opportunities which are available with the luxury fashions with this new award-winning innovation called HimGra. And a journey is started in 2019. Before that, I little bit introduce myself to the people who are new in the audience. Almost most of them are known to me and know about it, but refresh that. I am a textile professional, being and brought up in Uttarakhand, and I have started my career in the textile industry in 1987 after post-graduating from TIT Bhiwani. So Salilji, here are 3 people from the TIT, not 2.
Yeah, yes. Strengthening the now. TIT claim, yes.
Yeah. So after that, I started my career in the industry from well-known Vardhman, DCM, Sam Kane, DCM, Dinesh Mills, and worked from the scarf to rugs, every field of textiles. And my last assignment was with the Singora Textiles, and where I got the opportunity from the Uttarakhand government to help them in branding their handloom handicraft. So I come there to my own roots, and after working with the Uttarakhand government and Directorate of Industries for 3 years, I come again seen that there is a very slow pace of working in the government department, although the government are performing, but the things we have seen in the private industry and the government industry entirely different. So in 2019, I think I have to start something with your own. And one of the day when I was with the waiting for the ladies to join the meeting for the interaction for the government initiative, I come across the plant which was there thrown in the corner of the road, and with this plant is like that. This is the bast of the plant, and this is the fiber skin of the plant. So I asked them what you are doing this kaki. They told that we are using this for the cattle grazing or making the ropes. And since now ropes are also not being made, and synthetic ropes are there, so this is considered useless, only some small utilization of that. And when I was there, I was working, just seen the fabric, this grass skin, and got some fiber type material out of it. And that was the lighting of the idea that, okay, let's do something. And with my 30-year network and support from the peoples like, hey, most of are here, we developed some of the yarn out of it and presented it various initiatives like climate impact and IIT Mandi Catalyst. and we got selected in IIT Mandi categorized to preferred IIT Mandi, although some other opportunities also available, and with the grant on some funding from the IIT Mandi. We make the product market fit, we develop the fiber out of it, this fiber, and the difference of this fiber is that this has, we have used no water in the whole processes. You see the fibers like hemp or bamboo or linen, they use a lot of water in making the fiber from the grass. Although this is also from the same category like bast fiber, this is the bast and this is the fiber taken out of it. But the innovation is that we have not used any water, so make it a zero water fiber. And that fiber is now blended with the other fibers, normal conventional fibers like wool or cotton to make the yarn in the conventional spinning machine. So nothing new is required to make the yarn out of it, the fibers which is there. So existing technology can be used to make the yarn, the fiber, and that can be dyed with the normal dyes which are available in the market. So this complete process is only one of the innovations being taken to make the fiber is used in the industry to make the yarn out of it, and from that the brands have piloted. In 21 we have made this product to yarn, our focus on the yarn, and 22 we are in the market for the big industries and they have used it for the home furnishing, for apparel, for knits. So every sphere of the segment of the textile industry is being used. This fiber piloted, and we are happy to say you that more than 40 brands have piloted with HimGra yarn. And 23 is the branding and positioning of the HimGra. In the year we have filed the patent for the process. We have branded the fiber as HimGra from Himalayan grass and registered the trade name of the company. And 24 is the award year for the HimGra. So we are one of the winner of the textile machine industries, textile ministries innovation challenge award last year. We are material impact innovation of the year award from the Sustainable Next by April Resources, and we are finalist of the Global Change Award by H&M. We are one of the finalists of HKU Mountain Initiative and one of the innovations by Indian Innovation Enterprises Delhi. So this is the right time, we think, just Anupama is told, looking for co-founder to scale up the year. So this is the basic work has been now done to scale up, and this is the opportunity to people to join the company. So why they should join the company? Because the sustainable fashion industry is growing very fast in comparison to normal textile industry, which is staggering, growth is staggering. The expected the industry volume is about 33 billion US dollar, and out of is the alternate fiber market. When we call alternate fiber, means just it has been said that the polyester is the harmful. So thinking is that not polyester, cotton is itself a water consuming material, land consuming, and the way the consumption of natural fiber is going, because out of 90% people say the cotton is most sustainable nowadays. But the cotton is sustainable, then the agricultural land will there. How the agricultural land will address that issue consumptions. So, and the water consumption, energy used in the cotton. So the market is opening for the new alternate fibers like bamboo, hemp, and these new alternate fibers, in which category the market expected to grow 133 million tons by 2030. So there is an opportunity person who can join us and scale up this initiative. And the impact till now we have found is about, we have saved the carbon dioxide about equivalent to planting about 65,000 trees in comparison to linen. We are talking about the linen which is told to be most sustainable fiber at this time. And the energy, the trees, the carbon dioxide emission which is there in the preparation of the field, taking the groundwater for the irrigation, and the energy which is used to run the tractors, to run the motors, is saved about the 10.7 million houses, which is enough to feed the about 8,000 homes with water. And in the process, in 5 years, we have had 9,000 women in the Uttarakhand, where women is the leading the house because mostly men have the migrated. So the first phase of scaling is that we are looking for 2930, the first phase of scaling of HimGra to decarbonizing the fashion industry by 2050. The 100 CR is the target we are looking for in this year, and this is with the cultivation. We have started looking for the cultivation also, which will be ready by the 27-28 year. 27-28 it comes into the market, and by that time the company's ABIDT will be increased. So thank you everyone.
So I would just like to, Sharma ji made a very strong business case, and especially in the given scenario when green financing has also started to take off, And this time I was reading in some article that government is trying to come out with something, some great incentives to kick in this kind of financing, because decarbonization, stuff like, carbon neutral, net zero, zero emission, all this is now resonating. And in that direction, I think your big claim of being waterless, especially given that textile, the entire value chain, if I am not mistaken, is water thirsty. So there is a case for it. You made a business case, sir. Thank you so much. Now we can kick in with the presentation. Allow Sharma ji to, maybe we can start with Amit ji.
Yeah.
Amit ji, take it over.
Yeah, thank you. So basically, I just first of all wanted to start with congratulating Sharma ji because I have been tracking his progress from last 5 years. So he has showcased his journey also from last 5 years. So it's like a one-man army. He has been, trying to work on this fiber, which is a very unique kind of a fiber, natural fiber. And I have personally worked on different natural fibers. Like I'm very personally attached to cotton, especially organic cotton. I have been involved in some projects. Similarly with the bast fibers also, flax fibers also, or linen also. So when I came across HimGra, so I was very much fascinated with this fiber, and then I thought that why don't I try to get into this and see that what are the characteristics of this fiber, which can be which differentiates this fiber from other fibers, other natural fibers. So that was the first step when I started to getting into this. So before I start, I just wanted to put in a few things on screen, so that I get some kind of a relevance to that. So yeah, is it possible to see my screen?
Not yet. Yeah, now it is coming up.
Yeah. So basically, I just wanted to address two issues. What we are talking about sustainability now, and I believe the biggest factor which is neglected is about the soil health. So we are talking about a lot of factors, environmental factors, climatic influences on different areas where, but then soil health is an area where we have not been putting much of efforts in this side. And I believe this problem of deterioration of the soils over the years. If you see that we have been using a lot of industrial agricultural practices with chemical fertilizers and pesticides and all, so which has ultimately resulted in deterioration of the soil, and there is a lot of deforestation, urbanization going on, so which is actually affecting the soil quality. So when I just wanted to correlate this fiber, which is HimGra, when I looked at the properties what this fiber is having, it is an idle fiber where it helps in actually, or on the contrary, it helps the soil in enriching the soil characteristics, because it has carbon sequestration properties, so which will help ultimately to improve the soil health. So that was one area which I just wanted to highlight here. And then the second important factor these days is that, as there was a lot of emphasis on organic cotton, now the new concept of regenerative agriculture is coming into picture. So a lot of retailers and buyers are asking for regenerative agricultural natural fibers, mostly cotton. So regenerative, basically, agricultural practices are unique type of practices where they have a very strong focus on the soil health, where they are like having different kind of mechanisms. So crop rotations are there. Then there are some procedures on the soil done, which helps in actually capturing the carbon dioxide within the soil, so which helps in enriching the soil quality. So when I look at HimGra as a fiber, I could relate both these things to this concept that, okay, if this fiber is actually commercialized on a bigger scale and it is scalable in the market, it will definitely help in building up the soil quality, as well as it will also help in actually reducing the carbon footprints, what we are talking about. So this fiber, I did some comparison. So I would request Sharmaji, if there is something which is different here, so he can throw some light on that. So HimGra basically is a natural hollow fiber extracted from the perennial grass that is grown naturally or in Himalayan region in Uttarakhand, and it is mostly rain fed without fertilizers and pesticides. That is one factor which is differentiating this from the other fibers. So I just did some comparison of HimGra with other natural fibers. So if you will see that I have given a comparison with linen, cotton, organic cotton, hemp, and then HimGra is the comparison point. So when we see that the seed requirement in case of other fibers is high, while in case of HimGra, up to 6 years you don't need to have a seed investment. So that becomes that's a brownie point for this, because every year you need to have new seeds for the recultivation of the fiber. So HimGra is there for 6 years, so you don't need to have an investment on that. Then there's a water consumption. So water consumption in all the fibers is very high. That there are figures mentioned here. But in case of HimGra, it's only rain fed, so you don't need to have any separate source of water to use to grow the plant. And then there is an energy requirement associated with different fibers. And in case of HimGra, since it's naturally grown, or perennial naturally grown, so you don't need specific energy requirements for that. Then the fertilizers also, there is no need for fertilizers. While in case of cotton, even organic cotton also, we need the fertilizers there, pesticides there, and then there is a residue. As I already explained about the soil quality, there is a residual chemicals left in the soil. Well, in case of HimGra, there is no residual, so chemicals left, so it's actually environmental friendly. And then also, lastly, we talk about the GHG emissions, the carbon footprints for this. So that thing is still under process. Sharma ji is saying that there is working on to certifying that, but I believe that definitely, looking at all the parameters here, the GHG emissions and CO2 emissions for HimGra will be definitely lower than other fibers. So I think this gives a very strong pitch for this fiber to be to commercialize and to scale the fiber in the market. This becomes a very important point for us. Then also, what I have done is that I have tried to compare the physical property of this fiber, HimGra, in comparison to the end use of other fibers. Like mostly this fiber as such is a round cross section, so which gives like a feel and a lustrous look and a drapability like silk, which is a luxurious fabric, so it can get into the luxurious end use category as well. Then, being a hollow fiber, it has a property of lightweight, breathability, thermal insulation and conductivity is good, and water absorption properties are there. So which makes it like a combination of properties into one fiber that gives a brownie point to this fiber. Then it has a capability to blend up to 35% with other fibers like wool, levo viscose, cotton. So which ultimately helps in building up the basket of sustainable yarns and fabrics in the textile value chain. And then there is a chemical-free production. Since there are no use of fertilizers and pesticides, so it's basically, you can claim it as a sustainable product right away. and then also it is, as explained by Sharmaji, it has been very well received by a lot of brands, and then I think there is a good scope of scaling this product into the market. And over the years, I think last few years there has been some successful product development done with this fiber, so which goes into all both categories of wovens as well as knits. So in wovens, it has been developed for bottom wear, shirtings, denims, home textiles, ready-made garment end use, and for knits, tops and bottoms. So I believe this the range count range also is very appropriate. 6 to 24s, I believe, up to 30s also there is a very high possibility to blend and make the yarn out of that. So it gives a complete, comparison and a visibility of this fiber, where we feel that there is a good scope of finding a place for this fiber into the gamut of the natural fiber. So I believe there has to get some that the objective of scaling up and commercializing this fiber should be there, and a lot of efforts are already have been put up till the time the product has already been approved by the industry. But I think now the next stage should be that we should find out the ways where we can have this possibility to commercialize and scale up the production of this fiber, so that this can be easily used by the industry and become a very sustainable product in the long run. And lastly, it's a product which is produced at a grassroots level by and the fiber, the plant is been the cultivation happens at by involving women force at a rural level. So I believe that it gives a social angle to the product as well. So I believe in totality it's a product which can be scaled up as a sustainable product within the textile industry.
Thank you so much for making such a strong presentation, and again reinforcing HimGra as a business case, And
Yeah.
I am happy to note that you said that there is a social and environmental impact of it, both by bringing in the women workforce, B, in terms of, as you said, that the environmental impact, especially the water footprint, is very low,
Yeah.
A quick, and thanks for the comparative analysis. In the competitive landscape, it is important to know, what is what. And brownie points is what the marketing is all about. But a quick takeaway from this, you made a mention in your presentation about the organic cotton.
Yeah.
Though I'm not cynical, but the skepticism is that a lot of greenwashing that, is being done in the space of organic cotton. And though being an Indian, I should not be saying, but there is a lot of gray area in terms of, when the world is sourcing organic cotton out of it. So if you can throw some more light on it,
Yeah.
Thank you.
So you're absolutely right. I think over a period of time in last 5 years, a lot of greenwashing has been happening. So misinformation has been happening inside. See, basically what happens that the whole process of identifying whether cotton is organic is dependent on a certification process, not actually at the physical ground level. So what happens that a lot of manipulations and under table dealings have happened in last 5 years, where even the inspection bodies, I should not name it in this forum, but very reputed international inspection bodies have actually connived with the manufacturers, mostly at the ginning stage of the production, where the seed cotton gets converted into the usable cotton for the spinning process. So a lot of things have happened at that stage, and misrepresentation has been happening, where the product has, on the ground level, the product is not organic, because in organic you have to have a very specified set of procedures, where you have a 4 years process, IC1, IC2, IC3, and the 4th year you finally get a certification for organic cotton. So it's a long process, but then in between people want to, for earning money faster, because the premium, and 2-3 years back there was a lot of premium involved, so people went into this kind of fraudulent practices and misrepresented, and then even with the international inspection bodies also collaborated with them and declared that the cotton is organic, because once it's already in the form of a yarn or a fabric, it's very difficult to actually analyze and see whether this is an organic thing or not. There is some possibilities are there, like DNA testing and all, but those things are not available in India as such. So this happened, and now in last 1 year or so, things are coming on surface because every bad thing has to surface sometimes, into it cannot continue for a long. So things are happening now. Things are happening for the betterment, but still, I think there is a long way to go, and I believe that another a few years, then the things will stop, and real organic cotton will be in the market.
Thanks for demystifying and debunking this. The myth, or say, I would say more like a myth buster.
Yes.
Thank you once again.
Yeah, thanks.
Sharmaji, what is next in the row for the presentation?
I think Mr. Saurabh ji has to left with some urgent meeting, so he may present. Then Surabhi can take out. Surabhi, I'm sorry that he has to leave.
No. Thank you so much. And yes, glad. So we will quickly go through it. So I have not made a big presentation. What I would like to present is an how an investor would see this sector, right? Which is very important because funding is something which everybody needs. So just give me a moment. Let me just share my screen. Right. I'm sure you are able to see it now. Okay, so this is an opportunity, right? And why I'm saying this is an opportunity is because of two things. In fact, there are multiple things, but one thing which is very prominent is that this sustainable fabric market is growing with a CAGR of 12.5%. Okay, now in terms of dollar value, it is 75 billion. It is going to happen by 2032. But we need to understand one thing is that the new generation, right, which we call as Generation Z as well as the Alpha, Beta, all these people, and the new age people who are coming, they are very particular about as to what they are wearing, right? This is going up as well, right? They are very mindful as to what kind of product they are eating. They are very mindful as to what kind of product they are wearing as well. More and more people are adopting the sustainable fabric. More and more people would like to work with entities who are working in this sector. They also understand the kind of waste textile is generating, and they want to contribute in that part as well. So now, whatever projections we are making, we need to multiply it because more awareness is going in the market and more people are following it up. So the outlook for this industry is very bright, right? It's a sunrise kind of industry which we are talking about, and it is going to grow much faster as well. I'm hopeful that it works. Now, this is what somebody has done a very extensive research, a kind of polling, or I would say a survey which has been done, and it is clearly coming out that 80% of the consumer do prefer companies, right, who care about sustainability. So this is again, I mean, the first point which I made is that now people are more aware about the things, and they definitely would like to work with entities who care about sustainability. Now, this is an overall outlook which I'm giving you. That again, I mean, it not very related to the textile part, but textile is something which is very much relatable. So as a human, there are two things which are very important. Of course, the oxygen which we breathe in definitely is part of it, but then apart from it, the next thing is the food and water, and then it would be the clothes which anybody is wearing. So people find it very close to there are these two topics as to what kind of things which they are eating and what kind of things they are wearing. So the overall thing is that the industry is going very good. There are very high chances that lot of funds are any which ways flowing it as well, and they will continue in the future also. The third thing is that the sustainable fabric, right? They any which ways command a very high premium. At this point of time, the costs are high also in producing the same. But I think as and when the new technologies will come in, there will be more innovations which will be coming in the sector. The cost will reduce, but at the same time, the command or the premium which will be there, it will continue to exist. So this also gives us another reason for from an investors to invest in the market. Also, I would like to talk about the impact part. Again, I mean, we do not understand because being in the same industry, right? We do not see as to how outsider have a view about the impact. But I'm sure I've seen it as well. The textile industry, right? The sustainable sustainable textile industries have a lot of impact. Again, I mean, if we can categorize it, we can categorize it in three aspects. One is the social impact, second is the economic, and third is the environmental. So all these again can be further bifurcated as to what kind of impact they are creating. I think it is pretty much very clear that it has a multi-dimensional impact on various aspects, and we should not again see that there is no impact which is created. It has actually created a lot of impact, and a lot of impact funds are also interested in this particular sector, right? Because as it's visible that it's not a single impact which has been created. So when we talk about financial inclusion as to what kind of impact it is there, so again there are various impact which is there. But if you talk about textile, again social impact with economic impact with environment impact, I think it's a great story. Everybody who's working in the sector should create an impact slide in their presentation as to how they are creating impact on the society. So this is very important for everyone who's raising an investment or who are seeking a co-founder for them, because this is something which is very important. Now, one more thing which is there is to as to whether this industry is aligned with global sustainability trends, especially the HimGras. So yeah, absolutely, that is something which is where HimGras and Keshavji Sharma ji is working along with, again, I mean that definitely align with the SDG goals which is there, and also it is going again. These SDG goals were there till 2030. We will have another kind of goals which will be there, and I think whatever HimGra is doing has a clear alignment with these goals also. So with this, I mean, again, I don't want to take much time of yours. If you have any questions, you can please feel free to reach out to me, right? My email ID and my LinkedIn ID is mentioned here. You can take, or maybe you can contact Sharmaji to get my coordinates. Right? Thank you for being here. Thank you so much.
Thanks for very impactful. When it is impact assessment, I have to use the word very impactful presentation. And in your presentation, you have used the word the opportunity. So I'll quickly like to jump on the opportunity, asking you one or two direct questions. First, I am very happy that you brought in the factor of pull factor, which in my opening presentation, that remark, I said that till the time there is no pull factor, you made a specific mention about Gen Z or say alpha generation, which is born between 10 to 24, all they have started to ask, or they have started to aspire, the sustainably sourced, ethically made, responsibly produced products, So if that starts to gain the traction, that would be a fundamental tailwind demand for the industry. Rest will follow. That is first. Second is in terms of being, since you come from that, startup, word, I would try to understand generally little understanding I have about textile industry, interacting with investors. They are generally not very, keen to invest in the space of textile. Even if startup comes out with a right kind of a gap line, perhaps they are little skeptic about, given the background of textile industry, which used to be when I started in 1989 as a sunrise industry, IT of India used to be Indian textiles, which is converted, transitioned into, IT of the world. All that technology has taken away, has robbed that IT status out of my industry, out of textile industry. So how skeptic are you as a start point, in terms of putting in money? Because I think hot money doesn't chase it, but then there is a lot of dry powder, as they say, waiting on the sidelines. Do you think that textile industry has a good chance? Is it in good place to be invested?
No, absolutely. So Sanilji, again, as I told you, whoever who understand the business, right? So first of all, we need to understand that are we seeking a financial investment or are we seeking a strategic investor for us? So somebody who's only for financial return, I think for them it would be difficult for them to understand as to how the industry works, right? Unless they actually understand it. So what we need to seek out is a strategic investors who bring the money as well as also bring another kind of strategic support. So see again, whenever I say that you need to raise the money or any industry would need to raise the money, it's very important that those investors also contribute to the success of the startup. That it's not only a financial return which anybody should see. It is much more than that. Now, having said that, if somebody who understands that whether this textile industry is going to give them a good return, I think the answer is absolutely yes. The reason is that it is the demand which is coming in, right? So whatever it is there, I mean, again, whatever you want to supply, you can supply, but unless there is a demand in the market, you can't do anything. So that is where I am pivoting, because I can see that a lot of demand is coming and it is growing, because I interact with a lot of Gen Z people as well, right? They actually are much aware. In fact, people who of my age, if they are not aware, at least the Gen Z are still, I mean, again, they are aware, right? Who are into college level as well, right? Who are going to the college, they actually understand as to what is sustainable textile. So these two things are something which is there, and then believe me, if there is enough demand in the market, investors are bound to invest in the sector. I mean, they cannot ignore it. So that is the opportunity which is there, and I feel it is an opportunity for everyone, for the tech aspect as well as to build more and more tools, right? Bring more and more innovation in the industry, for the investors as well, because that is something which is going to multiply their investments, and in the startup as well to, I mean, again, work and come in the sector and do something good for the society as well.
Because why I made this reference, it was not presumptive. It was because I am also running EasyTex is my startup, in which I have interacted with many people. Many people have approached us, but then there is a degree of back in their mind, some skepticism. They are saying they are gaga over things, but when it comes to investments, they tend to, though I have got a skin in the game, but they tend to drag their cold feet on it. So thank you so much for demystifying. Sharmaji, what is next in the row?
Surabhi is, I think, she has to.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you,
Thank you,
Surabhi.
sir.
Yeah, please.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the input, Saurabh, and Mr. Amit has shared already. I do not have any presentation. I'll just be speaking about circularity in textiles sector. And the HimGra is definitely a promising fiber that we all can see. Amitji has given a good presentation on HimGra's properties and how it is a sustainable fiber and what all benefits it is making to the environment. So when we talk about textiles industry, it's a huge industry which is accounting to almost 1.3 trillion US dollars, and textiles and apparels is one basic fundamental thing that is required in everyday life. So it's like roti kapda or makan. The other day I was hearing somebody say that this is the basic need of life and this is never going to end. The demand is never going to end. It is only going to increase as the population is rising. It is only going to increase. And now if we are talking about this textile industry. So this textile industry employs around 300 million people along the value chain. And in this, specifically in India, the textile industry is actually the 2% of the GDP. And you will be, astounded to know that the entire textile industry, which is there, it can be, fabrics or furnishings or clothing. The clothing part especially, that constitutes 60% share of all the entire textile industry. But ironically, now that you see that clothing is 60% of the textile industry, but the use of clothing that we as individuals are creating, the usage of that clothing material that we are doing, that is significantly dropping with every year. In last 15 years, there was a study that happened. So it showed that the textile industry has 60% share of the clothing industry, but the usage of clothing is sharply declining. Now with every, the growth, the infrastructure is booming, we are growing economically, different economies are growing also. But with that, usage of textiles, usage of the clothing materials is declining sharply. And the sales is doubling, the sales has almost doubled. So this is a cause of concern if I talk about from the perspective of circular economy. Now this is the following, the current scenario that is there is actually linear economy that we are following. We are still using, and then discarding it. There is recycling happening, there is, reuse is happening, but this is at a very minuscule level. When we see that, the proportion of waste that is being generated in textile sector is huge. Now, if we talk about circularity in this sector, there are three main points through which we can apply circular principles in this sector. So first thing is we have to look for some new business models that can increase the use of clothing or textiles. Now, these business models, there are many startups. Those are, coming up with different models or subscription models. Now, if you see the statistics, every year the clothes valuing approximately 46 billion US dollars are thrown away every year. So we are creating so much of waste. We are hardly using now in growing economies like India. The usage is still better, but the developed countries like US, it has shown that in US the people wear the clothes only for a quarter of the global average. So that means in many a times one piece of clothing is only worn 7 to 8 times on an average in US. So this is a very shocking part. So, and this is actually about the mentality, about the perception that people have about fast fashion today. So fast fashion is increasingly, playing with the environment and putting a lot of burden on ecosystems and the people, societies, and environment. Now, where this waste is going, the waste of textile sector, US has been shipping its waste to the other countries in Africa, but now there are regulations, rules and regulations which are coming in that all countries have to, manage their own waste. These kind of regulations and policies are important when we talk about circularity. Now, when we talk about circularity, it is also about creating restorative and regenerative models. So now when you are designing, apparels or clothing, the designs have to be such that they have, a restorative module. They should be able, they should be easy to restore or reuse when they are getting into recycling. They should be easily doable. Then there are rental models also. There are circular subscription models also which are coming into picture. There are some startups I've seen. They are introducing that for babies, especially because small babies, they grow out of their size very easily. Every season they have to buy new clothes. So there are some startups which are starting to bring in the sustainable clothing. Along with the sustainable clothing, they are giving subscription models to the parents. They are providing very high quality organic clothing, and they are renting it out on subscription models. So that is also, these kind of models are also working out, and that way it is helping to share our resources in the long run. And now when we are talking about the fabrics or the kind of quality that we are producing, the lower quality or the plastic material that is being used in clothing is actually creating a lot of microplastics that is going into the oceans and rivers. When it is processed or it comes in, till the time it comes into the market, it has already created a lot of microplastic that has already gone into the oceans and the river, water bodies. So when we are designing sustainable clothing, like HimGra is one such amazing product that Mr. Sharma has been talking about, and we all are supporting that because this definitely has values of a product which is actually organic in its nature, how it is being grown, and there is a very less water consumption happening. And definitely these kind of products which are made from maybe banana fiber or maybe hemp or maybe from some other indigenous grass this is made, so at least these products are not sending some microplastics in the environment. So these products have to be very high quality, and durability is also one aspect that we should look at, because something that is not durable will have very short lifespan. So whatever resources have already gone into it in bringing it to the market, they are already, burdened. It's a burden on ecosystem. So making durable products, making durable clothing, textiles, fabrics which are durable and they'll run for longer life is one aspect of circularity. And there are some startups which are working on some designs which grow with the size of the individual. So I've just seen some design which is made by an aeronautical engineer, textile aeronautical engineer. He has worked on this kind of textile, and the textile actually grows when the size grows of the child. So these kind of innovations have to come in to create such models which can elongate the life of the textile. Either it's the textile or some other products also. In circularity, we talk about elongating the life of the product. Now, the second point that we would want to talk about is the safe and renewable inputs should go in the making of that product. Now, how to make these inputs safe and renewable? This textile industry is actually a very resource consuming industry, as everybody was talking about how much water is required to even process some cotton clothes. If I share a small figure that in creating one cotton t-shirt, there is about 2,700 liters of water that goes into its making. So it's a huge investment of our resources that we are putting in. Though it's, or cotton can be organic, but still the water consumption is pretty high. So HimGra here is definitely fighting, I think, this kind of the challenge that we have here, that HimGra can grow, that fiber can grow with very little water. So this 2,700 liter water that goes into one t-shirt making, you can think that this water is enough for one person to actually drink for 900 days. So we can make out how much resource intensive this industry is. Either it is water or it is, other fossil fuels also, because oil is also used to generate the energy through which the machines are running. Then there are chemicals are being used to dye the clothes. Then there are, plastic fibers are being made, man-made fibers are being made. So they are all putting pressure burden on our environment and ecosystems. And we have to make sure that when we are choosing our sustainable products during the entire value chain, during the entire process of manufacturing, there is no leakage of harmful materials in the environment, as I told you about plastic microfibers and all. So these things have to be kept in mind when the production process is going on. Now, the third part that comes to for circularity, for implementing circular principles, is we should try to find out the solutions as to how the used clothing or the textiles or the fiber which has come to end of life, after the end of life, what is to be done with that fiber or the clothing. So end of life is also important because either it is recycled, but recycling is happening at a very minuscule level, and only few, 2 or 3% of the complete textile waste that is being, produced is being recycled back into the, value chain. So most of it is either downcycled or it is incinerated. So here we need more solutions, more people to join in hands, where we can create such solutions like there are a few efforts are being made to create jeans is one. Jeans is one type of clothing item that is very energy intensive, and it requires a lot of water consumption, and chemical dyes are used to maintain that, and it is produced in huge numbers. So but the jeans material is usually quite durable. So after it is sent to a landfill, or there is end of life for it, then after that some people are starting to use these fabrics again, and they are making bags out of it, or making other commodities like furnishings, or some other clothing items are made from worn out jeans. So these kind of solutions have to come in. I think if we can look at the holistic point, from the holistic point of circularity, so this is imperative now to everybody work into that direction and close this loop. So thank you for this opportunity, sir. This is it from me.
Thank you so much for making great thought, and I must say very lucidly you made your point by illustrating, giving, sharing the data point that how water thirsty is, the process of making t-shirt, or for that matter, most of the garments, That is one. Secondly, you also made emphatically, you underpinned that the downcycling and that post-consumer waste, which is very, very pertinent, critical piece. I was reading in some article, though by different estimates, different figures they come out, anything between 33 to 37% of the landfills, they are being filled out of these discarded garments. Again, stealing out of your presentation only when you say the debate between the slow and fast fashion. Fast fashion stocks consumerism, because end of the day, capitalism is all about growth. And growth comes out of repeats, till the time you are not pushing the consumer to the brink to buy, luring the customer. She has to be lured to go for extra buying, for shopping. But at the same time now, slow fashion is being introduced in the world, which is all about sustainability, it underpins sustainability and resource conservatism. This is all about. Just in the lighter vein, I would say, you started by saying that textile, the scope of textile. Textile will continue to exist, I read somewhere that till the time the man is given birth clothless, the textile will never go clothless, it will never go out of business. So, Bhuto Bhavishyati, it is there, it will always be there as long as we are living in the civilized world. And again, I think I would sum up your this, that circularity. Till the time the process is not sustainable, I think the time has come when the regulations are to kick off from 27 onward. Time bomb is kicking, already we are on the brink of it. And I do not really know how stringent will they be, but given the tone and tenor, I think there is seriousness, especially for India. Europe matters because the EU is the biggest piece of our apparel basket when it comes to textiles, especially apparel. So, and there, most of the brands, they have already pledged, they have solemnized that by 2030, XYZ, 2035, 27, some by 2040. They wish to go, carbon neutral, or some are even making claims of carbon positive, So that carbon neutrality is something is going to be, I think, underpinned in the entire supply chain if the industry is to become, globally sustainably conscious. So any other presentation, Sharma ji? Thank you once again.
Yeah, I have a small presentation regarding
Please.
the co-founder's role. Before that, I must say thank you for Surabhi, that she told yesterday the beginner, but she has given the presentation like a master's in his field. And for the in the case of the HimGra, our objective is to make it a zero waste company, and we have taken some initiatives, and I think Dr. Visakha is here with her students. We have developed some felt out of it, which falls into technical textile categories, because at this stage the fiber realization is 30 to 40% only. So we have used that waste to make the felt out of it, which is another project which we push off in due course of time. And second, the after usage, which is a very big concern, and we are also addressing that concern through our not-for-profit trust, Dev UK Foundation, where we ask the buyers and our retail partners to ask the buyers to replace the wardrobe, not add into the wardrobe. Better than that. And they have customer has first right to take the refurbished garment according to her choice, or the people can, our foundation women can refurbish them, and the help of the here Dr. Vishakha is here, Dr. Geetika is here, and these institutions are there to help them ladies to refurbish this garment in another way to market that. So it's total circular concept. We wanted, our aim is to make this HimGra a zero waste circular company. So we are aiming for that, and hopefully the peoples around are here, are supporting us. Okay. So I have a little presentation before we go for the Q&A session. So I think, is it visible?
Yeah, now it has come up.
Yeah. So this we are looking for the people. If your network is fine, you share in your network to become the part of this HimGra revolution. As you see in the presentation by Mr. Saurabh Singhvi, that opportunities are there to in this area of HimGra is one of them, due to its water positive production technology, and the impact is being created in the area which is being badly affected by the result of fast fashion. You refresh the communities of Kedarnath, the recent Kantriak tragedy where glacier is melted due to the warming. So we are helping the initiative, helping the women in that area for their sustainable income. And in the first phase, the HimGra is basically we have planned till 2050. Plans are there. In the first phase, where we are at this stage, we are looking for the pilot cultivation. Just starting in the February 25, February and March 25, cultivation will be start. And by the time we pitch the HimGra for the luxury segments, top to bottom down approach to make presence in the market, and that require the 2 crore investment by this year. And by 27, when this cultivation crops come out, and in between that brands which have partnered with us, we have developed the product with the HimGra, they will be asked to visit the cultivation field and invest into the field to have a 2 tons per day capacity of HimGra fiber processing facilities in Uttarakhand. Then the cost factors, which is at present higher than the linen, will be addressed in competitive with the linen. As you know, right now all linen is being imported. Linen is not indigenous fiber. So that is a good replacement of the linen itself. And so far the development has been taken place with the partners that it is a good replacement of the linen fabric. The feel of the fabric which has been developed with the HimGra yarn are indifferent to the linen. So even linen customers are happy to see that something better than linen is come out of this yarn. One way. Second, when we compare the environmental footprint of this fiber, we particularly compared it with the linen fiber. And Green R, which we have honor to audited our the results, have calculated that even this fiber is 100 kg of fiber HimGra is replacing 300 kgs carbon footprint of the linen fiber. So it's better placed in terms of environmental footprint. It is placed better in terms of the feel, and better placed in terms of the government's foreign currency. So by the time the comes out, we need at this stage 5 crore to streamline that establishing this plant, fiber processing plant in Dehradun, and cultivating about 1,000 hectares HimGra into field, which will be effectively then helping about 9 million women in the area, Uttarakhand. And by 28, 26 and 30, when we are ending this phase by targeting a revenue of 80 to 100 crore, we are looking for next investment of 10 crore to make the HimGra a craft company. Like you see in the name of the Discate UK, is their ethical, sustainable crafts and textiles. And textiles we are doing, and now we aim to enter into HimGra craft. As every state of India having a unique craft, and like the craft is not getting the due position or due benefits or due respect in the textile industry, we are aiming to convert every craft of every state into HimGra, and HimGra craft will be the next stage. In between the next stage, the HimGra cultivation is going to be happen, and the commercial plant is due to commercialization, prices are competitive. So in the second phase will come out when this model of the business model of the HimGra cultivation is replicated in other part of the North India, because the same climate condition having the same fiber there, and this could be then implemented, replicated in other northern India parts like Himachal, J&K, Arunachal, Sikkim. And in second phase, then it is going to be 30 to 35, 2030 to 2035, and by 2050, the third phase will be started by the 2040. So this is the base plan which I created for the people. So this is a right opportunity to the people who are looking to grow with the HimGra, to contribute into the sustainable fashion industry and make them a voice into the sustainable fashion. And what are the benefits of the co-founders? We are taking the co-founders are like sort of strategical investors, those who can contribute to the company and grow with the company. And
See, your screens are not moving.
Is it there?
The screen is there, but only the first one. The first screen is there. There is no movement in the screen. Yeah.
Now it is there?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So here we offer 2% equity for some contribution from the co-founder which is interested into the, So it's a co-founder which is putting his skin into the system first, and then raise the required amount first for the branding. It is a high net worth fashion, HimGra, and then 1% fundraising for each 1% on fundraising performance. Sweet equity will be offered to him. And this is an opportunity where next generation leadership can take over the HimGra initiative with get some fresh idea to multiply the impact of the HimGra, and then they will be recognized as a sustainable luxury fashion pioneers in the industry. And the simple is that it is not next we can do, any person, I see most of the persons are here from not this background, but anybody in your segment or your network is looking for, or you feel that they can take up the challenge, then they can book a follow-up meeting with us, then explore the expectations and match up the expectations, and then join the leadership as a co-founder and taking the HimGra to the next level, multiply and catalyzing the impact, environmental as well as social impact. My phone number is here. So everyone, thank you for patient listening.
Thanks a lot, Sharma ji, for again reiterating, reinforcing that what HimGra has, the role HimGra has in this textile industry. Now, before we kick in for Q&A, I think Mr. Paraswamy has raised the hand. Paraswamy ji, you have
Yeah,
anything,
very
any pointer?
insightful presentations here from all the experts, and particularly in this non-conventional fiber. And I would like to ask specifically, what is the strategy you have taken in Bharat Techs, because there are more than 5,000 buyers are coming to Bharat Techs, and hope that you may also have an exhibition and a stall in that Bharat Techs. What strategy you follow? That is one thing. And even for an advertisement part of the things, now textile excellence become the media partner, and where they are coming out with so many publications daily to reach out all the exhibitions. Yes. Mainly buyer strategy. Now, how you can attract, how you can, bring a dissemination of your information to the buyers rather than the people visiting that stall.
Yeah, so very good questions, Periya Swamiji. We are last year at Bharat Tax. We met there also. And this year also we have been invited for award money ceremony by the Ministry of Textiles, as HimGra is one of the winner of the Textile Innovation Challenge by the Ministry of Textile. That will be on 15th of Feb. So also we are there, but strategy is little bit different till we reach that 80 to 120 CR target in 3 years. As the last year experience that most of the companies presenting in the Bharat Tax are the mass scale company, producing companies. Although we got pilots from last Bharat Tax, from Sahi Export, Vardhmans and Jindal come out with the denims. So till now our strategy to go for the niche market, the stylist market, designers market, boutique segments, because the volume at that stage is not supporting requirement of the buyer peoples, the brands which are there. So by the time cultivation is there, we go for the high net worth individuals or the stylist boutique garments. Then by that time, the 2027, we again hit the mass market.
Yeah, second question is, what is the measures you have taken to tackle the issue of ESPR, Eco Design Sustainable Product Relations, particularly for Europe, where they wanted to have a DPP? Is there any arrangements already you have made? Because this is one of the fiber where absolutely the Nile water and other things, it will create a lot of impact, and the buyers also would like to compare their performance of these products, always with this water consumption, energy consumption, and also the carbon credit, where the DPP plays very, very crucial role. Already the buyers started putting in their contract, even in particularly in Tirupur, and they wanted to that individual product has to come out with the DPP. So that LCA, the people are going for that.
Yeah, sure. That is in the pipeline. The digital passport system for these fibers, the HimGra fabrics are there, and I'm happy to share that the Italian trend-setting company has shortlisted 7 of the HimGra fabrics for the upcoming trend for the 2026-27s. So we are aware of these requirements, and basically this fundraising exercise is going for that purpose, the strengthening the scaling up for the niche market where export market is there, and then go for the mass market. So
So
all
very
those.
nice. We will be focusing more on your product in our Bio 3E policy, where we are conducting an awareness program to the industry. Thank you.
Sure,
Thank you.
sure. We will share whatever we have little
Yeah.
knowledge and experience with us.
Yes.
I'll also like to jump in. Paraswami ji, first and foremost, I have to congratulate the Ministry of Textile, of putting it on the pedestal of sustainability, Bharat Tax.
Sure.
Bharat Tax has been pitched for successively second time around the sustainability piece of it, to demonstrate India as a manufacturing base, as a powerhouse, which wishes to become a global powerhouse within the textile, for which there is a strong stake and claim also, around sustainability. That is one. And secondly, that when it comes to the promotion of Bharat Tax, because it is proud of India, festival of India, DFQ publication is being honored as the digital promotion agency for them, day
Very
in,
nice.
day out, series of articles we are publishing around Bharat Tax, because they had a run of more than 7 to 8 so-called road shows, not only in India, globally, places like Dubai, London, so and so places, So I'm happy that you have brought in the Bharat Tax piece.
Yeah, we
Thank
need
you
to
so
find
much.
a place in that. Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah. Very good. And also, last time when we conducted a program at NIFT Bangalore, particularly for slow fashion, we invited, textile commissioner. She really encourages, particularly all these sort of fibers, and any support even Ministry of Textiles can do. Particularly she took a personal interest and she came, and also she participated in the panel discussion. Yes.
Okay, there was I was also invited by
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Textile Excellence, but there are some clash of the events are there. I have to go
Yes.
for IM Kashipur, some presentations basically
Yeah.
on that
Okay.
time. So I
Thank you.
missed it. Anytime we can meet again. It's long
Yeah.
journey.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you very much. So, any questions? More questions from the audience?
If not, maybe then we can, because time has already breached, 1 o'clock. So we can wait for another 1 minute before I request Sharma ji to give thanks, giving,
Sharma ji, what is the yield of it per acre? Like if you cultivate it?
So since now it is being collected, not being cultivated, and that is one of the purpose of being cultivation, to get the actual yield of the fiber in this yield basically. Till now the fiber, taking fiber from the grass, it's about 35 to 40% of.
So that means that you have not experimented cultivating of your own. I mean, when you said that we need a seed, so that means there might maybe.
No, we have already seed with us. We have collected the seeds. These are the seeds of the plant, and already have agreement with this one panchayat and the local SHG groups for cultivation, which is being started in the month of March, as I told you. And then we have that all these acreage, how much acreage per.
And is it limited to the growing at Himalayas, or it can grow anywhere?
No, it is limited to high altitude regions basically,
High
like Uttarakhand, Himachal, or J&K, or Sikkim, all those areas.
Foothills.
Yeah. So it will be a good association that fortunately here all the peoples are from either from the fiber or dyeing or the processing and circularity and designing. So the collaboration value chain is full value chain here for collaboration and taking the steps further.
Sure, we will definitely talk to you. You are usually in Dehradun.
Yeah, I'm there by Dehradun base.
Sure, I have your number. We will get in touch.
Okay. We are meeting, I think, second time.
Second time, yes.
Sure.
If no more questions, I request Sharma ji to take the opportunity of thanking everyone and officially closing this.
Yeah, so it's all your people which are associated with the HimGra from since its inception, starting the ideas, and every stage we are adaptful to the people like the audience presented here, and most of them knows us from the long time and part of every step HimGra has taken. And we thank all of you being part of this thought-provoking session. and I think you must have got something out of this sessions. And looking forward to meeting you again with more discussions like that, and scaling this value chain to get the impact into the national and international market, and making the sustainable story which is being presented at a showcase of Indian success story into the international area. Thank you everyone again, and looking forward to meet you again in next session. We shortly commenced with the fabrics which are coming into the trend book of the 2026 by one Italian trend book agency. We meet will again. Thank you everyone. Nice to see you.
Thank you, everyone. God bless us all, and thanks for making
And
it a huge success.
special thanks deserve for Sarilji for you for beautifully conducting these sessions, giving everyone opportunity to ask a question and moderating in the final. Thank you again.
Pleasure is all mine.
Thanks.
Thank you, everyone. A very engaging session. Thank you.
Thank you, Vishakha ji. Meeting again.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.